And we're back.
Yay.
It's like we never left from last week.
Exactly. We've actually just been sitting here this whole time.
The whole time.
Uh-huh.
A whole week. A whole week of doing
exactly.
this. So,
just sitting.
I did get up and go change my shirt at least once.
Good. I'm
But-
glad. It
But
got
other
old
than
after
that-
a few days.
Well, welcome everyone. I'm Philip.
I'm Tess. I'm here
Look
too.
at that. And welcome
Hi,
to
Megan.
UnPHILtered. RCX UnPHILtered.
RCX UnPHILtered.
And Megan's with us.
Of course.
So-
Hello, Megan.
Woohoo! Yay!
Yay.
Yeah. Megan's always with us.
Always. We know you're
We,
always there.
we appreciate it too.
We appreciate you.
So much. So.
That sounded sarcastic.
No, it wasn't sarcastic. I guess I think it's just my tone. My tone's
Yeah.
always sarcastic.
It's true.
Whether I'm sarcastic or not, you just have to
is.
figure it
You
out.
gotta
Yeah.
figure it out. That's the worst part.
Turn the TV off,
Uh.
Gregory. No more Taylor Swift videos for you tonight.
Go watch them when you get home. I'll do the same and think of you.
It'll be like we're never
It'll be
apart.
like we're never apart.
No, I'm gonna go home and listen to Sweeney Todd.
Even better. The Josh
Bye.
Groban version?
What?
The
Bye,
Josh
Gregory.
Groban version?
Actually, yeah, because it's really good.
It's so good.
Have you listened to it?
Of course I have.
Oh,
We're going to just sit back and let Megan and Brian compliment each
Aw.
other the rest of the night. That way,
That would be
that way
so
we know
good.
it's a very positive show.
Exactly. See? Only good
Try to
vibes
be
here.
positive. So we'll talk about some books. I think Tess has recommendations.
Yes.
I have a couple of recommendations based on stuff last week. We'll get into that. We're going to talk about Fall Festival again. What else are we talking about? Do you have any idea?
No. I'm just
You
see
had a
where the night
whole-
takes us.
You had a whole week to prepare
I
for
didn't
your
think
big
about
moment,
it
and
nearly
yeah,
enough.
you did. Yeah, all right, that's fair. All right, well, I'll start with comics then.
Ah, yes.
First, we're going to talk about the Flash #1, and I'm not sure how I feel about this book. It is really Wally West in a horror flick, is really what it is. So it's very strange coming from a Flash perspective, but this book has got a very horror vibe to it. There's things going on with the Speed Force. It's just really odd. Mike Deodato is doing the art, so everything kind of vibes in with that. Lots of words.
Brian says, hopefully it's better than the movie.
Oh yeah. No, this is good stuff. It was actually good. It is not going where I was expected. Now I will tell you that I get a giggle out of this, but this is one of those series that the only reason it works is because everyone is too busy trying to protect everyone else. And it's like, well, I don't want to put this burden on them. And then everyone else is like, well, I don't want to put this burden on Wally. But if they would have just had one conversation, just one,
That's most things.
that was like, hey, this thing is happening, then this series wouldn't happen. Just letting you know. So,
If only people were better at
yeah,
communicating.
so once you get past that, which it seems really weird when you're reading it, but you're 100% correct. Like, people don't communicate to begin with, so it goes right down that alley.
Mhm.
So, because Wally's got a job at with Mr. Terrific, and it's like they all
Megan
know.
asks if it's darker than regular DC.
No, I wouldn't say it's darker than regular DC, but there's some weird stuff going on with I guess the Speed Force, in a sense that something's going to come out of the Speed Force, whether it's good, whether it's bad. It's like, So maybe it's bad,
Whoa, that's creepy.
isn't it? So yeah, there's a whole lot of yeah. I mean, and there's one scene in here where Wally runs up on Grodd, and Grodd goes, "Oh, sorry for your loss." And Wally's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Oh, you don't know yet." So it's like all this stuff in here. So yeah, it's actually really good, but there's going to be a little bit of I guess, a horror vibe to it, which is really, for me, I guess, is interesting because, like, I grew up with Wally, right? There was like Barry, I read Barry, but Wally was really my Flash, and all that Flash stuff was fun. It was just all stupid fun.
Mhm.
And if you watch like the Justice League animated or anything like that, that Wally was fun. This is just, it's going to be good. It's just not going to be like your haha laugh fun.
Mm.
So this kicks us off with Flash #1.
Woo!
So there you have it.
Yay.
The next up is Ultimate Invasion #4 by Hickman. So, as you may or may not heard, Hickman is.
Oh, we have a question.
Uh-oh.
Brian asks, I wonder if the Flash will cause a reverse Flash by zooming through the speed of force to holler at Grodd. I'm here for it.
There is actually, Brian, there's really good chance that may happen in that. there's all kind of stuff. So as silly as that sounds, because I haven't read The Flash in a while. Like I read some of the last series before this, where it was basically Flash was doing the quantum leap thing. I read some, but it's been on and off a lot. And so basically I didn't really care about that. But now like Grodd has got like a whole army and they're all wearing like cybernetic helmets and stuff. So obviously some stuff has gone down somewhere. So it is, I guess, led us to this point. So, and I'm assuming with the dawn of DC, like there's going to be some uplifting stuff in it, but we'll see. I don't know. It was just weird, right? It was just for me, it was weird reading the Flash that was more on the oh crap level. So anyway, back to this Ultimate Invasion. So this is the final issue of Ultimate Invasion of this series. I am not sure what's going on. It's Hickman setting up some stuff. There's a ultimate one shot coming out in November called Ultimate Universe. And then I think there's going to be a new Ultimate Spider-Man book with a brand new Spider-Man. So the whole Ultimate Verse is coming back. And this is leading into that, but it's still, I'm not really sure how or what. It's like the Maker and some Kangs and a whole bunch of weird stuff.
Cool.
This is not the book you start with if you're trying to get in the comics. This
So
is
I
not
should
it.
read
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one.
Yeah, do not read this one, Tess. Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, yeah. Skip this one.
Okay,
Don't go there.
Fine.
Yeah. Because you'll go, I have no idea.
No.
I'll never read a comic again. So I will tell you, in the first issue of Ultimate Invasion, is the Maker actually goes to Miles and he's like, hey, I'm going to go back to the Ultimate Universe and make sure that whole universe is created again. Would you like to join me? And Miles is like, no. Miles is like, I'm good here where we're at in this nice 616 universe. So Miles really hasn't fit into this yet. And I guess whatever comes out of this, and then the Ultimate Universe one shot, is there's going to be a brand new Ultimate Spider-Man, and then that Hickman is going to create that whole universe again. So
would be dark enough in your writing. You're too optimistic. Fifth wall break. I like it.
would be dark enough in your writing. I'll be honest with you. I don't read a whole lot of dark stuff. I don't like dark stuff. What is dark to me is real life. I'll be honest with you. Like Jacqueline. Yeah. Like Jacqueline reads a lot of autobiographies and things like that. And like people go through a lot, right? And these are comics.
Yeah.
These are graphic novels. They're like, I don't want my stuff to be dark. Like we have enough going on, right?
Exactly. No, I get that.
And so like hearing people, like talking to people is one thing, but like in a book, I really kind of want to escape. So I don't really go really dark. Like I need the good guys to win.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
yeah. You need something.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
you can't do that all the time.
Right, exactly. Watch the news. Yeah, it's like I have to pay attention to that because we live. I don't need that in
In
my
books.
books.
Mm-mm.
So I don't like there's a big like if when you look at a lot of books, there's a big trend now of horror related books. I've never been a big horror fan, right? Like growing up, let's be fair, everyone watched Friday the 13th or something like Halloween, but those wasn't that to me.
Those
Those all
are
right,
horror movies. They're
right.
not what horror is nowadays.
Correct.
Which
And
is
so
all political.
right. Those were fine. Like the gory stuff, I don't do that at all.
Mm-mm.
So I haven't watched anything since I think Amityville Horror was the last thing that I watched only because of that clown. When that clown came out from underneath the bed and grabbed that kid, I was done. Done. Hate clowns. I was done, man. I'm out.
Yeah.
Completely out. So
No, thank you.
yeah. And just so you know, I felt vindicated on my not liking clowns thing because there's a Hellboy novel where Hellboy has to go into like an abandoned circus where all these ghosts and stuff are, and Hellboy also does not like clowns. So
I love that. My sibling collects antique clowns. They go to antique stores and they like look for the dustiest, like
Wow.
gross clowns they can find and they buy them.
wow.
Their room is so scary because they also have all these antique dolls
That
and all
is-
of these like paintings they found. And
That is not right.
that's why I don't live with them anymore.
That is not that's not yeah. That is not
Yeah. Yeah,
wow.
I know.
So we were in the wow, we're way off topic now, but we were in the I was cleaning out the garage attic last year. And when I left Georgia many years ago, I had a bunch of toys from when I was little. And in that box, and you probably have seen this somewhere, but it was an old battery powered monkey. If anyone remembers, that used to hit the
I hate that.
tamarines and do the teeth. And Jacqueline saw that and she's like, "What the is that?" And like that, she goes, "Throw it away." So I threw it away because I forgot that I had it. And she's like, "No,
That's
it's
so
out."
worse.
And it was so creepy.
It was like that Stephen King story where the monkey kept like chasing him.
That's what it is. It was that monkey.
Oh
Yeah,
my
with the
god, I
feet
hate
and
that. I hate
And the
that.
symbols.
That's terrible. I hate everything that is happening right now.
I guess it works out. We're in spooky season.
I mean, happy Halloween. Okay.
Oh, going back to Brian's comment. No, the Ultimates Volume 1 was okay, and then Volume 2 got really dark. So, and what he's talking about, now you may have something else in mind, but I'm going to let you know. So, in the main Marvel universe, you have Ant-Man and the Wasp, and they were married. Well, Hank used to beat her in the main Marvel universe. Like it was a brutal relationship, right? Well, in the Ultimate universe, he was Giant Man, I think. It's been a while. And she was still the Wasp. And so he took a can of Raid after her. It was bad. It was bad. It was some dark stuff, man. It was hard. Yeah. Which is kind of probably why the Ultimates themselves failed. That's why everyone loved Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man was a lot of fun.
Huh.
But that's also what happened to the maker was the Reed Richards of that universe. And he basically cities got flooded. It was awful.
Yeah, that's
So yeah, Brian, you're right. It just got worse and worse until the whole universe got ended. So yeah, we'll see what Hickman does with it. Yeah, maybe it won't be so bad this time. Who knows?
oh my god.
But he's right. Yeah.
We don't talk about Quicksilver and Scarlet
no.
Witch in the universe. We don't.
Remember, they're brother and sisters.
Oh.
So then take that to the Ultimate Universe, and then you take that for what you will.
Oh, I hate that. That's not cool.
Man, Brian, come on. Wow. Man, this has gone way down a rabbit hole. Man, I'm gonna make Tommy watch this show. 'Cause
Yeah.
He's gonna be so sorry he didn't show up for this tonight. Yeah. All right, let's go.
All right,
Move on.
moving on.
Let's move on. I'm sure we'll come back to this, but let's move on. Next up is Void Rivals number 4, I believe. Right? Yeah. Hey, we're up to number 4. So if no one's familiar, we'll say it every time. This is basically Kirkman kicking off his Transformers universe.
Wow.
So it's really around 2 people who are from different worlds, or are they?
What?
Yep. And in this, he's kind of reintroducing the Transformers. So in every issue, you've gotten kind of a different peek into this whole overall world that Kirkman is building. So issue 1 was Jetfire, Skyfire, whichever version. I can't remember what his name was in it. It's some version. And then you dealt with like it. So in this one, there's another, big Transformer reveal. And I'm really looking forward to this Transformers. And this is going to sound odd, and especially going to sound odd to you. It's probably something after the first couple of issues you would probably enjoy, which sounds really weird because I know what you read.
Yeah, no, you're.
But,
yeah.
So
I trust.
it is a completely different take on them. The personalities are somewhat like the old Marvel stuff, but there's a whole lot of human interaction that's going to be in Transformers 1. But in here, this is dealing with a lot of humanoid type people out there. So it's a whole lot of stuff going on in here. But Transformers 1 will be coming out soonish. So, but Void Rivals has actually been really good. If you haven't picked that up, it's not just a throwaway series that leads into the Transformers. Void Rivals is going to continue. Kirkman is writing it. It's just a part of that universe that deals with more of a political stage in the overall arcing universe. So,
yeah.
Yes, it is the Walking Dead Kirkman. He's the one that got the rights. He's created Void Rivals. He's doing Transformers. G.I. Joe's going to be a part of it. It's all going to be one big universe. And it is, I read a preview copy of Transformers 1. It is a completely different take on what's come before. If you've saw some of the teasers that Kirkman and them dropped, it was like, hey, here's the Decepticons, and here's the team, and here's the Autobots, and here's the team. Transformers 1 is going to explain to you why there's only like 5 Transformers on each team. So, and then Skyfire show, like I said, was in the first issue of Void Rivals or Jetfire, whichever one. I can't remember what they called him. On the toy and the animated series, he was called 2 different things. I can't remember.
Just
yeah. And I'm still stuck in the 80s, so it's fine. So, and then he reappears in that Transformers number 1. So, yeah. It's robots in the sky. So this is going to start off kind of, it's sad because it's a warring faction, right? And it's got the Void Rivals got some political stuff in it. So I guess it could be sad, but I think it's more intriguing for someone like me who's loved the Transformers and knows all that universe stuff since day one. I still have all the original G1 toys. The new take on it, I think, is going to be really well done. So this you would probably like to. You would like it probably more for the dark humor.
Oh.
In a sense, it's got dark humor in it, but without having really dark humor in it. Like it's plays that way, but yeah,
it's not.
Yeah, but it's not. So they do a really good job. Next up is Contest of Chaos Avengers number 1. So they've been doing Contest of Chaos annuals through like Spider-Man, Iron Man, and all that stuff. And so now we are at the finale of that series. So basically, this whole series has been Agatha trying to recreate the Darkhold after it got destroyed. So, spoiler alerts for anyone who doesn't know, earlier in the year, Agatha became young again. Well, she first became alive again. Then she became young again, and then the Darkhold got destroyed. So now she's trying to help Wanda, Scarlet Witch, by recreating the Darkhold and helping her with her powers, but it seems off. And so she created her own little team of heroes. So it's hero versus hero. And while she's trying to create the Darkhold, and they stop her.
Question mark?
All I will say is the Darkhold as a book did not get created. Take that for what you will. So a lot of stuff from that is going to come out of this book here and out of the series. So it was
Megan
pretty
asks,
crazy.
is she friend or foe, or do we know yet?
I think she's in here. Just like always, Agatha thinks she's trying to do the right thing, and she may be, but it's recreating the Darkhold, which is kind of a hard thing to sit there and say you're doing the right thing. So we won't know yet, but
Who knows?
at some point we'll figure it out, but
One of these days.
we don't know.
We don't know. Oh, it's pretty.
So I will tell you, Brian, Megatron is not a part of the Transformers reboot at this time.
Gas.
He is not part of the 5. So I can tell you that.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Brian, I had to go look it up. It was another with Agatha Got Young, it was another series that happened because the last big thing I read with Agatha, she was dead. And it was that 12-issue Scarlet Witch miniseries where magic was messed up and it was like Agatha's ghost was hanging around. But then they did I think another annual series last year where they brought her back. And then when they brought her back, she came young, and then all this is happening. So, but yeah,
That's
crazy
a lot.
stuff. Yep. It was a lot. It's a lot.
A lot.
And then Guardians of the Galaxy number 6. Right. Yeah, 6. So this has actually been, I've enjoyed this a lot more than I thought, because I like the Guardians to be kind of fun at times. And some of their series lately has just been really dire. I'll be honest, this has been kind of dire. Groot has turned into this flaming giant meteor small planet creature thing called Grootfall. And so the whole series has been called Grootfall, and he's kind of been destroying planets and all that, and everyone's kind of stopping, but it split up the Guardians for the most part. Like there was a small band of them, but like Gamora's become a drunk. Like it's been pretty awful. And so in the last issue of this, spoiler alert, they tried to stop Grootfall by, letting Groot eat them.
Oh.
So, stopping from the inside. Things don't necessarily go well. But in this issue, they actually explain how Groot became Grootfall, what broke the Guardians up. So that they took a whole issue basically and said, we're now going to explain everything to you, and good luck on what we see. But it also has been really good, and they each have each character has like their own little crisis point, right? So here's Mantis going through her crisis about like how it's her fault that all this has happened. So inside Groot, they've each kind of had their own crisis, and it goes back to explain how it happened. So, ta-da. So we don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea.
No.
It is set up really weird, and the ending of this book is set up to where it's not really Grootfall anymore. It's set up like
Groot therapy.
Guardians Fall. Like they've all kind of merged. Yeah, this is going to be some bad stuff go down in this.
That's crazy.
I mean, the Guardians may come out of it, but as of right now, if you haven't read issue 5, they're pretty much they are in their version of their afterlife. So that's that. That is that. And I don't have it over here, but Harley Quinn came out this week. I can't remember what number is it. I love that book. It's still the most fun of any of the books coming out right now, where Harley is trying to help save the multiverse because she's helping break the multiverse. And it is
As one
actually,
does.
yeah, it is just silly fun. And the hyenas are high level intelligence. It is just really, really great. So I have thoroughly
Amazing.
enjoyed that book. And there's a bunch of other stuff coming out this week. So
Woo!
yeah, that's, I'll be honest, Megan, I picked up that book because Sweeney Boo is doing the art. I'm a big fan of Sweeney Boo. And everything she does, I pick up. And then I'm like, well, you know, Teenie Howard's doing the writing. So I'm like, well, she's a good writer. So let me give this. And then I liked it. And then I've been on board ever since. It's sad.
Crazy.
It's like,
Crazy.
I don't really read Harley. She's not my, it's not my kind of thing. Right. But
Mhm.
that book is just, it's just fun and it's stupid fun. And the hyenas.
The hyenas.
The hyenas at a high level. Good time.
High-level hyenas.
So what have you read this week? Anything?
Well, I only read one book while I was at your house. I read Forever Is Now, which was very good. And I started a bunch of things, but I didn't finish any of them. I read volume 2 of Princess Jellyfish, which was very enjoyable. I just finished the first,
This is what I was getting to.
the first Once and Future.
Yes. And
I assume as I read more, I will enjoy it more. At first, I was like,
okay.
that's kind of like my opinion currently. It's like,
Okay.
it's a book.
It's a book. All right.
I'm hoping it will have a bigger emotional impact on me as time goes on.
Well, you're probably not in much as like Robin Hood and King
Unfortunately
Arthur.
not, no.
Yeah. So you're probably missing
I'm sure
a lot
I
of
am.
that you're not all the different versions of
Yeah.
stuff like that.
It's not
So,
like in my brain.
yeah.
So I can appreciate it for what it is, though. And the art's really cool.
Yeah.
So.
And exactly, Brian, that book is legendary. It is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if it's, you know, like I love the Arthurian stuff, and then it builds upon itself. Like it can get overly convoluted.
Mhm,
Not
mhm.
convoluted in the sense of it's all based on stories. So each part is
Yeah.
another story, right? So
Mhm. Brian says, was a slow start, but man, did it deliver. Okay.
yes, it did.
I'll keep reading.
And Grandma is the best.
I did enjoy her very much.
She is legitimately the best. And they do a good job with the character growth in that book because there are some jumps,
Mhm.
right? Like it doesn't like it's not just one day after the other. There's like 6 months, 8
Yeah.
months, and so
How do you guys feel about the Fables copyright becoming open? How do
So-
you feel about that? Tell me.
So the Fables copyright is going to be interesting. I don't know if you saw or not, but the DC immediately came out. Well, not immediately, but the next day came out and said, "Yeah, that's not going to happen." So I think it's going to be tough for it actually to be open. I think the idea is good and the plan is good and how ownership works is good. But the problem is going to be is, let's say if I decided to write a story in that universe, DC would come and sue me, and I don't have the pockets for that, even if I'm in the right? So for them to do that is going to be hard. Now, I think what's tricky is all of those characters are already in a public domain, right? Like the wolf and all that stuff. So if you just create something similar,
Mhm.
like it just wouldn't be that big a deal. But like I like the premise of, so I don't know if you read, but the creator of a book called Fables was having an issue with DC. So he just came out and said, I'm just letting my characters be in open domain, free for anybody to go do whatever they want. And DC is saying no.
Of course.
DC saying no, you can't do that. So I think there may be a few people or a group of people that will come out and sit there going challenge DC for that, but I don't know who that would be.
Yeah.
my assumption is it's a good statement from Bill's standpoint, but I don't know if anyone's really going to try to do something with it to challenge what DC owns or not, unless someone wants to just see the contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you got deep pockets and you want to do something to let them sue you and say, I need to see that contract that Bill had with DC for Fables, then maybe. Yes, same as Winnie the Pooh. Yes, that horror flick, Winnie the Pooh.
Oh God.
Exactly. Yeah, that's going back to the once and future. That's all the different versions of all the same story versions of King Arthur. It's like, hey, I've read every one of those books. Like, I know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, tread carefully. Exactly.
Woo.
So they didn't really let the copyright slip. So DC is kind of a strange creature, right? So
Critter.
so at a time, remember, they also had like the Vertigo. And one of the things with a Vertigo imprint is everyone really kind of was part owner of their stuff. So even though DC published it, DC had rights, but they didn't really have rights to do certain things, which is kind of why the Vertigo print went away. And this is the same thing. So Bill Willingham is the creator of all of this Fables universe. He did it. DC's a publisher, and the argument is what he gave them rights to do in the contract. Like, DC is saying they have the rights to go out and do video games. They have a right to go out and make a movie based on this. And because of that contract, and by Bill putting it in open domain, it may not change that, right? So, like, I couldn't go out and make a movie even if the public domain piece was correct. DC still may own all the rights for Fables to do a movie. So DC is saying that what Bill did can't be done. Like, that, it's great for him to say that, but that is not how any of this DC's lawyers is saying that is not how the contract is written. So who amongst us wants to go test Warner Brothers and their lawyer pool? Like, I would assume that the only people that would have better lawyers is Disney. And I can't imagine Disney cares enough to even go after that. So
no.
Winnie the Pooh. Well, and I think, Bill, that's part of the problem of a lot of this, right? So a lot of those contracts was done when DC was only owned by Warner Brothers. And then you had like editors, and you had other people that when you sat down and talked contracts, everybody was like, here's this contract, here's how it works, this is how it's going to be. But then remember, AT&T buys them, so now you got AT&T lawyers, and then now they sell them, and then it goes over to Discovery, and now they own them, which is still kind of owned by AT&T because they still own stock, and now everyone's after a buck. So, and that's why a lot of these things are tough, is because now that everyone's out of a buck, they're going to fight it. But once again, who is going to go fight DC or Discovery lawyers?
That's a bad idea.
Yeah, especially if they're saying no. Now, they did come out and say, hey, if you've been writing like fanfic and stuff like that, stop. We're not coming after you. Don't even do that, because that's been going on for
years.
Ever and ever. What they are saying is like, hey, Philip, sure, you should really go try to write a comic or a movie based on Fables, and let's see what happens. And I mean, they're going to take my cell phone because that's all I got. But I mean, that's what would that's the premise of that, right? So somebody's going to have some deep pockets. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm broke also.
Yep. That's so cute.
Yeah, like I would like, but see, that's the thing, Megan. Like I would probably agree with that statement where 40% of them. But once again, if you write a book and if DC comes after you, what are you going to do? Are you going to cease and desist, or are you going to actually try to fight them in court to see that? And then it's going to be up to the court to say, here's how the document reads. And like, maybe someone that just wants to go after this go after this contract and say, I really want to see this contract between Bill and DC. So I'm going to sue you. I'm going to do this and let you sue me because then my lawyers get to see the contract and then go from there. So that would be.
I think I lost track of what we were talking about like 5 minutes ago. I know we're still talking about this, but I like zoned out a little bit. And now that I'm zoning back in, and it's wow.
Yeah. We're still talking the same conversation. I'm just going down the questions.
Wow. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I don't think Tommy's going to be handling the DC lawyers anytime soon either.
No.
But yeah, exactly. Like you just can't write the fable, right? All the characters then themselves and those fairy tales are all in public domain. So anyone can go write a Bigby Wolf story or a Red story or Snow White or anything. You just can't draw them like that, right? Which is the whole reason, people give my overlords, Disney, a hard time all the time.
In parentheses.
Hard time. But there's a reason that when they do like Snow White, it's got that little Disney's Snow White, right? Because they can't copyright Snow White, but if they put Disney's above it with the Snow White different font, and then they can say, hey, well, this dress wasn't really this, you can copyright that. That's how that works. That's the whole point. Yeah. Like if they would have just say, if Disney would have came out and just said Snow White, then it wouldn't have meant anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's Disney's version of that character.
Snow White.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why it's done, because they're able to copyright Disney Snow White. They can't copyright Snow White.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but that's why it's done that way.
Huh.
So it's the same principle, right? Like you can go out like fables, like you can't sit there and copyright the word fables because it's been out there since the dawn of time, right? Like, like they've been out there forever, and you can't copyright snow and you can't copyright all that. But, there may be like little nuances that you could create if you wanted. But if you started making it too close to the fables story, then, instead of New York, just put them in Chicago. You're fine.
And yeah. Megan asks, is it like 11 points of difference? Makes the story go round?
Yes. It's always 11 points, right?
Always.
So, yeah, it's going to be whatever the lawyers decide are the differences.
Good for them.
That's right. Pocket money. We need pocket money. Pittsburgh, right. Yeah. Put them in Pittsburgh. They're all iron mill workers. Then you could do like just the dwarves. They're back in the mine again.
Good for them.
Yeah, good for them. But yeah, that would be the whole thing. Like one of the things that you would probably be hard pressed to do if they wanted to cut. Like if you wrote a story about Jack, right? You had like Jack be nimble and Jack. And so in the Fables universe, that was all the same person.
All the Jacks.
All the Jacks was all the same Jack. Like no matter what the story was, it was the same person. Like the Jack, he did the beanstalk thing. He did the Jack be nimble candlestick thing. Yeah. So he did all that stuff. So if you try to do that, that could be a little bit of like a copyright on that.
I see.
Yeah. And just like, because of the way that the old fairy tales were written, not the Disney, let's forget Disney.
No.
But in the old fairy tales, remember, everyone was Prince Charming.
Yes.
There was the prince didn't have different names.
He was just,
they were all, so in the Fables universe, Prince Charming was there and he was been married to all the.
Wow, player.
Yeah. I mean, that was the point, right?
Brian says, so he was a jack of all trades.
Yes, he was. Yep. Yeah, he even got his own miniseries for a while called Jack of Fables. That came out of that. But yeah, 100%. That's 100% what he was. Yeah. So, but that, yeah, so there was a whole big thing on it. But yeah, if any of you would like to pull your money together and challenge DC, go ahead.
Go ahead. I'll film it.
Yeah, we support you. We support you 100%.
We stand with you.
All right, we'll move on for a minute because Tess, talk about this.
It's a fall festival this weekend. It's gonna be so much fun. I'm posting different creator spotlights on our Instagram page, so go and check that out and get to know everyone, and also start saving your money so that you can buy lots of things. That's my recommendation for this week.
$10. So yeah, we'll have all the creators will have their books. We got a bunch of books behind us. There'll be
so many
signed authors. Yeah, there's so much stuff.
So many fun things. And it's supposed to be a pretty day. Like it's not supposed to rain.
Yeah.
Knock on wood though.
Yes, we were very thankful it wasn't last Saturday.
Yes. Oh my God.
So, but yes, it should be a good time. We got a lot of people coming in. Jacqueline is putting together games. I'm assuming you and her will probably be doing games.
I'm so excited.
Because you like doing the games, I think. Didn't you help last year?
I think I did, yeah.
So there'll be giveaways. So we got giveaways for the adults, giveaways for the kids. So we got a lot of that stuff going on. So it
supposedly there will be a sale
like a
of
boat?
Some sort. Maybe.
Like a boat?
Are we giving away a boat? How boring is that?
A sailboat.
A sailboat.
Yeah. When you see the word sail, it means sailboat.
Oh.
I just can't spell, so I spelled wrong.
Oh, where are we putting the boat?
It's just a little boat.
It's a little a mini sailboat.
Yeah, we're gonna make a paper boat.
Oh, it's very okay.
See, if Tom Engelberger was back, we could get an origami boat.
We could. I
Dang.
have one. I have one because I was Georgie last year for Halloween, so I'll bring it in.
There you go. Yeah. So we'll have a small origami boat.
It'll be so great.
So, yep, and we'll be open 11. So the fall festival, we're open 11 to 7 that day. Fall festival will be 11 to 5.
Yes.
That way, because everyone remember, time changes this weekend. Did you know?
I did not know that.
Did you know that time changes this weekend, Tess?
I thought it was in November.
No. That used to be like we changed that so it could be changed for.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it's Sunday. Pretty positive.
I believe you.
I could be wrong. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I
trust
my
you.
Days?
I trust you.
No, it is November. It's November 5th. So I'm wrong.
Did you guys hear that?
Yep, I'm wrong. I am
and
wrong.
This was on video.
Man. I've done that all day today. Like I said, people at work today, and I'm like, hey, we're going to do this on November 11th. And they're like, that's a Saturday. I said, October 11th. I've done that all day. I've got November and October confused.
Same thing.
All day today.
Same thing.
Phew. Man. Yeah. Sorry. I forgot it used to be before Halloween, and now they moved it to after Halloween.
Cool.
It did used to be. Back in the old days. It used to be before that.
New Rose says it will disappear from the video once it's done. Test. Nuh-uh.
Yeah. If anyone knows me well enough, if you watch most of these videos, especially anyone that I upload, I don't edit. Like it is just like I bless all these people who could edit these videos and spend all that time. Like if I mess up, it's just going to be in there, and y'all enjoy.
And that's fine. Yeah, people are going to watch.
Right. It's completely fine. Just enjoy it.
Brian says back before clocked.
Right. Back when I had the sundial and it was out there in the parking lot.
The parking lot. In the field. Oh my God.
Back before dirt.
Before dirt. Back before sliced bread.
That's right. Yes, I know.
Yes, the good old days.
I keep forgetting it's still September. It's not October yet.
Somehow it is still September. Oh,
that's right. Both hills both ways. All the way, man.
All
in the snow. Yeah, I'm from Georgia, so it was uphill both ways in the snow.
Yes, like because it snows a lot in Georgia.
It never snowed in Georgia.
Oh, barefoot in this now.
Barefoot.
No shoes.
No, we had cloth. We wrapped cloth around our feet.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we were. Wasn't
were
that bad
lucky.
off? We had cloth. It was back before socks. We did cloth.
Just a piece of animal skin, you know, strapped on.
Wow.
You have feet?
I
Question
do.
mark.
I do have feet. That's right.
Eating dirt, and we were
We were
thankful for that
That's
dirt.
right. We were. We could stew up the dirt. We could boil the dirt. Yeah.
So
Where
many
mud-
things you can do with
Where
dirt.
mud pies came from.
Exactly. Delicious. It all depends on what kind of water you're putting into the dirt. That's where it gets the good flavor.
That's where it all came from.
Exactly.
So anyone, tell all your friends about the fall festival. We'll do more stupid stuff on that day, like we do all the time.
Yes.
Should be a lot of fun. We'll
It's gonna
all
be
be
so great.
here. We'll all be here.
We will all be here, and that is a threat.
Some of us we try to hide out in the back. We'll see. But we'll all be here. So come see us. Come join us. Like I said, tell everyone. That way, all these authors and stuff coming in from out of town will have people to talk to and sign books and all that stuff.
All that stuff.
So check
It's
out all the
gotta be-
social medias
Yeah.
about all the people.
All
And
of
we
the
have the
people.
flyer. No, I guess the flyer's out there.
Yep. This is just the black and white one.
Yeah.
We have better ones.
So do that.
Okay.
Well, I guess we didn't get to the recommendations this week. So we will do that again next week.
Sometime.
Even with
I'll have
Tommy
an
here-
even longer list.
Yeah, even with Tommy here, we will kick him out of the way for a little bit.
I will
and let Tess-
personally move him.
and let Tess do her list, and then I have my list, which is Met Cadet U and Hard Boiled.
Woo!
So if you like the Darrow stuff, Hard Boiled, it is rough, as you can see from that.
Ow.
Met Cadet U would be really good for big guy and Rusty, and it is all ages, so it is way more fun.
Bill said I've earned a spot at the table. Praise the Lord. What a great day this is.
Now you've given her hope, Bill.
You're not allowed to get rid of me now. Bill said I was valid. Okay.
All right, everybody. We hope to see you Saturday. We'll talk to you later. Bye.